Previously on Xena.
My name is Beowulf.
He had this lock. It had 2 ravens on it.
It's something I did a long time before I met you.
She wants to correct some great wrong she did in the past. Her trail has taken me north. Due north. Farther north than I've ever been. Do you know about this Valkyrie, Xena?
Xena brought Odin out of his despair by sharing with him her lust for life. He, in turn, made her a Valkyrie.
Tell me about the Rhinegold.
First thing you should know, the Rhinegold is very dangerous to someone who hasn't forsaken their love.
It depends on the trilogy, and it depends on how much time we have to prep it. These episodes we had a good lead time into. Certainly, when you're recycling sets and things, that is definitely the way to go. And I think most of our more successful episodes that were 2 or 3 episodes were because we could pool our resources and do something really special there. So we always look forward to trilogies. Or two-parters. When you're going 1 episode to Greece, the next episode to France, the next episode to Portugal, that's when it starts to get very, 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 very hard. But like anything else, if you have enough prep time to do it, you can do just about anything.
I always wanted to be a writer. When I was a kid, I was a huge bookworm, huge movie fan. I always knew I wanted to be some kind of artistic something. And then in high school, it sort of just turned into writing. And yeah, drove out to Hollywood after college, seeking to be a writer. And how I got to Xena, a friend of mine, Chris Black, was working on Cleopatra 2525, which was another Renaissance show. And I had worked with him before on another show, and he got me in the room to pitch an idea to them, which I understand is really rare. They don't like to take it's very hard to get them to take a pitch. But I went in and I pitched 4 or 5 things, and they liked one, and it turned into an episode, and it turned out really great. I mean, I thought it was just great. I seemed to capture that show, and they said, could you write a Xena? And I had never seen Xena before in my life. I mean, I knew what it was, but I had never watched the show.
She was Xena, a mighty princess forged in the heat of battle.
And I said, of course I could write a Xena, you know? And they sent me stacks and stacks of tapes to, you know, get caught up on the show. That was a lot of material to absorb. There's a lot of Xena to absorb. But I did, and they had me rewrite Haunting of Amphipolis. And I thought it was just a script assignment. Rewrote it, and before I turned in the first draft, they said, hey, come on over and we'll hire you on staff. And I didn't even know there was a staff position open. So it was all a big surprise, and it was just thrilling. It was just thrilling.
You ready for this?
You know, the first thing I did was Haunting of Amphipolis as a freelance, and then my first day, they sat me down and said, the next thing you're going to do is the middle part of this North Ring trilogy, based on the Wagner operas. And they actually had a sort of a classic comics version of the whole thing. It was actually a comic book that went through the whole Wagner legend, which is 4 operas long. It's just absolutely huge. It took them 26 years to write. And they sat me down, and they knew pretty much where the episode was going to begin and end, you know, the big events that was going to happen in each one, the bones of the whole structure. And then we started fleshing it out. So, and then, of course, we folded the Beowulf legend into it as well. So that was there was a lot to mix into it. We were all writing it at the same time. RJ was writing the Rhinegold, and Emily Skopov was writing Return of the Valkyrie. And mine was sort of a bridge between the two. Mine was in the middle. And what was great about that was that, actually, I started writing mine first before they did. It all happened pretty simultaneously, but I actually went to script before. I was a little ahead of them time-wise. They were busy doing other things. So what was unique about that is that I could write things in my script, and when we realized they might be a little confusing to the audience, RJ was able to set it up in his script. So, for example, in my script, Brunhilde turns into this eternal flame, and we all realized that's a pretty unique thing to pull on the audience last minute. Oh, they can turn into an eternal flame. So RJ wrote a small bit in his script setting that up, that Valkyries have the ability to do this. So it was really a unique opportunity to do this sort of setup and payoff and actually work backwards.
Xena! I can see your heart lies with Xena, but I'll prove to you which one of us deserves your love.
In this episode, Brunhilde and Beowulf fell in love with Gabrielle simultaneously, so they were both pursuing her.
You do know your way around this place, don't you?
I never had a reason to come into this foul pit. For Gabrielle, I would go through the fires of hell.
That's her.
And what was strange was that there was really no mention or concern given about gender at all. I think by this time, with the whole Xena Gabrielle thing, a woman falling in love with another woman was just no big deal. It wasn't even a part of the discussion, really. These were two warriors that were falling in love with Gabrielle. They each fell in love for their own separate reasons.
I won't leave Gabrielle.
Neither will I.
Well, I guess we're in this together then.
So I think Beowulf was sort of a love at first sight. As soon as he saw her, he just saw the goodness and the heart and the valor and the purity that she had, and he knew he wanted that. So his arc was kind of, not one note, but right from the get-go, he was in love with her. Brunhilde had a much longer arc. She was sent to betray Gabrielle and Xena, and I suppose to kill them, but eventually she fell in love with Gabrielle, actually romantically at first. And then towards the end, her character had this great arc where she realized that the truth and the purity and the valor that's within Gabrielle, it changes her into putting up with this big self-sacrifice. So it was a great little arc.
This ring is too powerful to fall into undeserving hands. And so are you. But I can't protect you in this form, not from Odin. And he and Brunhilde will stop at nothing. They'll kill everything associated with Xena.
In this form.
I'll become an eternal flame for you. Only your true soulmate will be able to pass through the fire. You'll be safe.
The motivation I was given for Xena, for this story, was that Xena had sort of set this fire 35 years ago by creating this monster, and now she has to stomp it out. The monster that she created is killing people. So as far as the mandate I was given was Xena should kill this monster because it's slaughtering villages on the hillside, etc. So yeah, she sets out to kill it. And I think there was talk in the room of, well, are we going to do one of those Xena kills the enemy story or Xena enlightens the enemy story? And I think it came down to, obviously, curing or healing the monster, and that happened in RJ's script after mine. But since it wasn't going to happen in mine, I really didn't have to deal with it too much at all. The motivation I was given was, you got to kill the monster that she created.
Come and get some.
Why did the ring make Xena lose her memory? Well, we went round and round about the rules of the ring, what it would do for you, what it wouldn't do for you. It got pretty complex. The characters ended up sort of explaining to the audience a lot what the ring would do for you. Chapter 3, subparagraph A, the rules of the ring, this would happen. But one of the things, if you have not forsaken love, the ring will take away that which you value most. And we decided for Xena it would be her memory of Gabrielle and the woman that Gabrielle helped her become.
What do you hold dearest in your heart, Xena? Are you ready to lose it?
I'm out of options, Odin.
Kill her and kill Gabrielle!
So that's why she gets amnesia. It's not just plain garden variety amnesia. It's the fact that everything that Gabrielle has made her over the years is now gone. So she's essentially a clean slate.
You've put the ring on your finger. But Xena, you haven't forsaken love. Take it off.
don't know what you're talking about.
The curse was already working.
I don't know how I got here. What's my name? What's my name?
You've lost your memory, your sense of self. What about Gabrielle?
I don't know her.
That was tough because it was the final scene in my episode, and I was really at a loss because Xena's alone and she's in the woods, and how do you demonstrate to an audience that Xena has lost her memory? And I asked Rob Tappert how I do that, and he says, well, Joel, she falls on her knees and she screams at the top of her lungs, "Who am I?" And that's how we discover she has amnesia.
Who am I? Please tell me. Who am I?
After everything that had come up before that, and just the way they filmed it in the overhead crane shot, and it was a great fade out.